Hello and welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while. In this video, we'll be creating a sparkling skeleton. I love doing these with makeup looks, so I decided to make one into a doll as well. For this look, I will be using a Goolliope gelatin and I will be placing inset eyes. As I removed the factory paint a while ago, I'm just sketching out where I want to make the holes for the eyes, just to try to get them as even as possible using a pencil. And then once I'm happy with the shape, I'm going to start cutting from the middle of the eye using an X-Acto knife. Slowly, and once I've cut out, I'm going to start thinning from the inside to create a socket so the eyes have the perfect fit into her head. Moving on to the second eye. And once I'm done, I'm going to cut a hole in her head, remove a part of the skull, let's say, and this way I'll be able to inset the eyes later. The bigger dolls, the hair is so hard to remove, so I'm kind of shaving it off. Using a cutter, I will cut the head plug from the inside. This way it will be easier for me to place the eyes later. After that, I sprayed the doll with 3 layers of Mr. Super Clear, and let's start with the face up. First, I'm going to be contouring and blushing using a hot pink color. Then, as I have my initial shape and I'm not afraid of mistakes, I'm going straight in with the blacks. I'm creating her eyeliner, and then with a dark brown, I will create the crease of the eye. I took a pastel in a pencil form just to highlight a little bit on her nose, and also using watercolor, I went into the nostrils. Now I'm going to start blushing around the eyes with a little bit of orange and pink. Mark where I want the eyebrows, and then making small tiny strokes to create the brow hair. And I'm adding 2 colors just to give them dimension. I went for a lilac and pink, which will also match her hair later. Going into the lips, first I'm starting with a solid color. I've added another layer of Mr. Super Clear, and I'm adding a little bit of dimension using pastels and my colored pencils. Playing around a little bit more with the hair, adding some lighter strokes. And then using watercolor, I'm giving dimension to the lips. Adding black to separate the 2 lips and blending it out. Added the bottom lashes as well and intensifying them. Now taking a very light pencil, I'm marking out where I want my skull. Just getting that initial shape on. And this will be the last layer of Mr. Super Clear, so I'm adding my sparkles on the other side and dimension where the hollows of their skull are supposed to be. Q-tips blend everything perfectly. So adding dimension using colors and pastels. I got this metallic glittery paint in rose gold. I'm gonna add some on the eyes, and then using gem glue, I started gluing the teeth. I added some extra details using that paint around my skull drawing. And after that, I'm gonna start filling it in with rhinestones, which was my favorite part. So I'm using gem glue, and I'm gonna start adding rhinestones and also some pearls. This took a lot of time, but It was worth it in the end. And I'm using this nail tool. It's very easy to pick up rhinestones. It's kind of a wax tip. I got it from AliExpress for like $1.50. And my skeleton's ready. Now let's move on to placing the eyes. I bought these eyes ready from AliExpress. I painted them blue and added loads and loads of glitter in it. Then I'm going to pour UV gel, cure it under UV lamp. And once they're ready, I'm going to take some epoxy sculpt, form a worm, put it around the eye, and place them in the sockets. Once I found the placement, I'm going to push that epoxy sculpt on the wall of the head just to get them there, and they're fixed. I let her dry for 24 hours and then I will glue the head back on using super glue. I glue wefts on the head, and because I wanted the part to look nice and neat without that stitching, I cut off the hair and made wefts using glue. I'm going to use a decoupage glue and stick them on. After that, I created her dress with this sparkly fabric. Basically, I just winged it as always with the pattern. I take the doll and I start sketching and spend hours to make it perfect because I hand stitch everything. So you can see me here creating the pattern, and here is the dress. I took Goolliope's original shoes and I'm gonna use the same rose gold paint and go over them in 2 layers. Finish the first one, let it dry, and then go for a second one. And they turn out pretty cool. After that, I will be creating a headband. I took some polymer clay and wire. I made it into a worm, flattened it out, and rolled it around the wire. After that, I baked it for like half an hour. I'm going to use toothpicks to create the spikes, and I will start cutting them, starting with the middle one, which is going to be longer, and then the side ones, which are going to be going from smaller to smaller to smaller, then bigger, and again smaller and smaller and smaller. So I'm measuring them so they are of the same length on each side. I glued some roses using a hot glue gun, and then I sprayed it all with gold spray so I can get a nice even color, and I went over it again with the rose gold paint. After that, I will be gluing some gemstones on it to make it sparkle, and I'm using the same gem glue as I used on the face. And here's the headband. It's finished. I will apply her false eyelashes. I'm just measuring them, and I use the same gem glue to glue them on her eyes. And with the help of tweezers, I'm just twigging around, get the perfect placement. And now she's ready. I'm just going to remove the saran wrap that I had around the dress to protect it from the sealant. And now to assemble her, and she's finished, and I love her so much. She turned out amazing. I really liked her. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will leave my links in the description box below. Thank you for watching.